So here are some interesting notes about the Detroit Red Wings' top pick in the 2026 NHL Entry Draft. In the 23rd overall spot, Steve Yzerman, in his very last draft as Red Wings GM, selected JP Hurlbert. Now, it was actually quite intriguing, the fact that the Detroit Red Wings had a first-round pick. Because if you had been following just how things went heading into the 2026 campaign, Detroit's first-round pick was traded away to St. Louis in a really unfortunate move. They traded for Justin Faulk. And unfortunately, Faulk, look, I don't want to say that he was amazing. And also, the Red Wings didn't even make the playoffs, so it's not like he had an opportunity to showcase more of what he could have done. But the Red Wings weren't really expected to be making a first-round selection up until this trade went down with the Utah Mammoth. You see, this draft pick that the Red Wings ended up using to select JP Hurlbert was moved around twice on draft day. The Bruins sent it over to Utah in the JJ Peterka trade? One of those? The JJ Peterka trade for a 2026 first-round pick and a conditional 2028 first. And then later, that pick was then sent over to the Detroit Red Wings for goaltender Sebastian Cossa. So essentially, the Red Wings traded away Cossa for this first-round draft selection, and with it, they used the pick to select JP Hurlbert, a guy who was playing out of the Kamloops Blazers and who had scored 97 points in 68 games. He's heading over to the Michigan Wolverines, and as a guy who was labeled as a cerebral tactician, an offensive forward, and a sniper, there's a lot of value here in JP Hurlbert. He has shades of Jack Quinn, and his summary reads that he is a foresightful offensive creator capable of starting and finishing passing plays. Top 6 skill, but the game requires reworking to fully achieve his lofty upside. Despite that fact, Hurlbert was ranked at a 4.5 out of 10 for skating, 7 out of 10 for shooting, 6.5 for passing, 5.5 for puck handling, 6.5 for hockey sense, and 4 out of 10 for physical. He was given an A grade. Now, the reason we are talking about JP Hurlbert again today is because of the recently released Vancouver Canucks behind the scenes at the 2026 draft video that was posted on the Canucks YouTube channel. We already made a video about this video because earlier on in the clip, if you watch the Vancouver Canucks boardroom as the 2026 draft goes on, it becomes very clear. When San Jose takes Ivar Stenberg with the second overall pick, there is somewhat of a collective groan of disappointment amongst the people in this room. You can tell that just from the video footage itself, even though the Canucks seem to have been happy with Malhotra, Stenberg was somebody that they wanted dearly. We're also making this video because of the content that was posted about with their second first-round pick. You see, right after JP Hurlbert was taken, you had the Vancouver Canucks at 24. They selected Adam Novotny, a guy that we've made a bunch of videos about, a guy that has displayed some pretty good skill. But it turns out, in the Canucks behind-the-scenes draft video, you can see they directly talk about JP Hurlbert. This is a conversation that they post up about in this video, and it was talked about by a number of the folks on the broadcast that, yeah, JP Hurlbert is a guy that the Vancouver Canucks wanted to take at number 24. Either Novotny or Hurlbert. They were debating amongst the two. Now, from the language that was used in the clip, you can see Todd Harvey here. The way they conclude it, it's basically, okay, if the Red Wings take one of these guys, then we'll just take the other one. No biggie. But it is talked about here by Ryan Johnson, Todd Harvey, even Daniel Sedin gets involved and steers the conversation about JP Hurlbert. Eventually, though, the Red Wings end up taking him with their 23rd overall draft pick, which means the Vancouver Canucks are able to get themselves Adam Novotny. And that is what is concluded here in the video clip as well. The Canucks execs are like, okay, well, Hurlbert went to Detroit. That means we're getting Novotny. Great. Now, there is some extended debate by some Canucks fans in the comments section below. Interestingly, not only does it seem like the Canucks were obviously hoping for Stenberg to drop from this video, but they also clearly were debating between Novotny and Hurlbert. Yeah, it's not totally clear if they liked Novotny over Hurlbert, but the fact that Harvey says he thinks Hurlbert is more of a winger makes me lean towards them preferring Novotny. But Novotny is a winger as well. They probably liked both guys and edited the clip to prefer Novotny over Hurlbert. I took that as is. If they were looking for a center over a winger and they think Hurlbert is more of a winger, then that wouldn't be a factor in determining Hurlbert over Novotny. Another reply says, I don't know though, because when Detroit takes Hurlbert, they say, we get Novotny then, which would indicate to me that they actually preferred Hurlbert. I think we're reading too much into this, and it really could have gone either way. Curious if they went off the board there, whom they would have picked. So, even though the video doesn't necessarily conclude anything, I did think it was interesting that the Vancouver Canucks were interested in this dude. And it would make sense, honestly. You talk about how they're scouting local, WHL guys, Kamloops Blazers, he had 97 points in 68 games. I think, what was it, Will Scouching went out there and said that JP Hurlbert can be Gavin McKenna light? That's an interesting way to talk about a prospect, eh? If you can't get McKenna, why not get the guy who's kind of like him? All the comments on this subreddit post, this is on the Detroit Red Wings sub, go out there and talk about JP Hurlbert, what he could potentially do at Michigan this upcoming season. So obviously optimism is pretty high when it comes to where he is going to take his game. But, you know, if you were to twist my arm and ask me, who would I rather have, Adam Novotny or JP Hurlbert? Honestly, I'd say it's a pretty big toss-up. I mean, Novotny did not produce nearly as much in the OHL as Hurlbert did this most recent campaign. But you also have to remember, Novotny's coming over from Europe. This guy was playing in the Pro Czech League before suiting up in the OHL. He's going to have another season to do what he needs to do in Peterborough. If he doesn't decide to go to the NCAA or something crazy like that, or if he doesn't end up making the team, that's also a long shot, but still something that we need to at least think about. When looking at Adam Novotny and his scouting profile on the Elite Prospects Draft Guide, they also have him as an A-grade prospect. His skating seems to be a little bit better than JP Hurlbert's, though. Hurlbert's a 4.5, Novotny is a 7. Novotny's shooting just a tad worse than Hurlbert. Hurlbert's passing just a tad better than Novotny. Puck handling is the same, hockey sense is slightly in Hurlbert's favor, and Novotny has a much better physical presence, according to the draft guide itself. I mean, they're close, right? There's a reason the Canucks were debating between these two guys, and with Hurlbert going number 23, it left the inevitable choice at 24 for the Vancouver Canucks in Adam Novotny. With that said, you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about how the Canucks wanted this Detroit Red Wings top prospect. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.